Welcome to the show, gentlemen. Glad to have you with us. I will start off with the Chelsea fan, Onyekachi. Looking forward to this new season. Chelsea have been dubbed major contenders for the EPL title, most especially because of the signings that we've seen so far. At the likes of João Pedro, there is a Delap who has joined the squad. A lot of interesting players who have joined up with Chelsea. Is this the season Chelsea will get to win the EPL title?
First of all, thank you for having me on the show. No, I do not think this is the season Chelsea get to win the EPL title. I think the expectations on the club have been slapped on our back because of the Club World Cup success, which is expected, the money we've spent, the caliber of players that come in. But I think we also need to realize that this is just Maresca's second full season in the top flight. He may have, he overachieved in the first season. I don't think anyone saw that coming. But to expect him to win the league in his second full season in the top flight might be a stretch. I wouldn't say I don't expect us to be in and around the top three or maybe even the top two. But I do not think we were expected to win the league. I think we're still a little bit behind the Liverpools, the Manchester City, and the Arsenals.
So which of these clubs would you tip as likely to win the league this season?
I think I would go with Manchester City because Pep Guardiola is the most unpredictable manager I think there ever has been. And Manchester City finished fourth last season, and it was considered an absolute disaster for the clubs. Sorry, they finished third, and it was considered a disaster. It was considered one of their worst seasons, like since Guardiola came in. I think since his debut season when they finished fourth. But they've made some remarkable additions to the squad. I think Tijani Reinders, Ryan Cherki, Aït-Nouri coming in. I think those are massively underrated additions they've made to the squad. I think Reinders can comfortably step in for Rodri in the middle of the park. I think Ryan Cherki is an absolutely remarkable replacement for De Bruyne. And there are rumors that Savinho might be on the outs. He's being courted by Tottenham, and if they do complete that deal, there are rumors that Man City will go for Rodrigo. And if that happens, I think that nobody's getting close to them for the league.
Nobody getting close to Manchester City. And of course, I've got a Man City fan, Akintayo Akinwoleola. And I'm sure if he had the stones to throw on the show before, I'm sure he would have calmed down, because now someone has said that Man City are likely major contenders for the season. Akintayo, thank you for joining. Man City, yes, it was considered a disaster last season under Pep Guardiola, finishing third in the EPL. And this season, they've made quality signings. But years ago, Arsene Wenger, former coach of Arsenal, said that most of these clubs and coaches are using money to buy trophies. But now we're seeing that nobody cares anymore. If you don't spend money, you will not get to win titles. What's your take? Man City, winners of the EPL this season, or we should calm down?
I think we should calm down. The reason I'm saying that is this. This is the first time that Pep will actually be carrying out a review. And we've noticed something on the transition. Man City has actually not been that good. Thankfully, we have Kusanov right now, AK-47, like we call him. And we are looking to see how that will work out with Pep. We understand that, yes, last season was terrible, and we still do not have Rodri back yet, being the fact that Rodri is more or less like the mainstay of the club itself, of the team. But right now, with Ederson likely to leave, and we are looking at Savin also going, and with the inclusion of Donnarumma and also Rodrigo likely, then if that happens, I would say yes, we probably have a chance at the title this season. But of course, that would depend on how well the team gels. That's number one. Number two is on the selection, because we all know that Pep, he does this thing where he plays Russian roulette with your feelings and all that. So once if Pep is able to get it right and we bring in these additional additions, yes, I believe we will have a chance for this. Sorry about that.
That's fine.
To actually get the EPL. However, I'm looking at Chelsea. I did see what he said just now, and I'm laughing because they have had a lot of additions. João Pedro is just banging in the goals. The young man is on fire, and you have the lap, of course, a Man City product, who is also actually quite good as a backup for João Pedro. I think Chelsea has a big chance as well. And also, we have to look at the fact that Liverpool are also just there. And the fact is this: despite the game yesterday, you have to understand that with new additions, of course, they are still trying to find their feet. But the truth is this: the first game of the season doesn't determine. We should actually start looking towards the middle of the season, probably January, seeing where the tables have aligned, and then that's when we can start saying, oh, this team is actually going to be up there during or probably win the league. Yes, the additions are good, but how well do they gel? So that's my take on that. Thank you very much.
All right. Of course, I like the fact that these fans are not even owning it, saying that my club will win the EPL this season. But of course, we have coconut head fans and the likes of some Arsenal fans have said that, look, Arsenal, this is the season Arsenal will win the EPL title. For goodness sakes, we've heard that for 3 season stretch. Now we're looking forward to see if it will happen again for Arsenal fans. And for Man United fans, nobody's putting Man United in the conversation. But is this going to be the season for United to finish in the top 3 or top 4 in the EPL? Some fans have said, look, Man United will struggle even if they've gotten the likes of Cunha and Mbeumo into the team. There's also a possibility that they will get Jackson, which we heard they want to sign from Chelsea. But United fans are saying no to that. But of course, we've got Stanley Chileke, the Man United fan, who joins us as well. What's your take? Are you optimistic ahead of the new season? Of course, it did kick off yesterday, but more matches to go down today and on Sunday, especially Man United taking on Arsenal. What's your take for your club this season? Because you've made some quality signings.
First thing everybody needs to know is never, ever underestimate Manchester United. Never, ever underestimate Manchester United. In terms of, if there are any expectations you're asking me about, it would definitely be around getting back into the Champions League and one trophy. Those are the only expectations I have. And in terms of trophy, it's basically going to be around getting back to the Champions League through the FA Cup, through winning FA Cup, or through winning the Carabao Cup. So those are my only expectations. I don't think Man United will be able to finish in the top 4. That's majorly because of the strength and quality of the other clubs. Every single club in the Premier League has upscaled in terms of players. And obviously looking at Liverpool, City, Chelsea, and Arsenal as well. I think those are going to be the very, strong 4. Man United can, struggle around finishing within 5th or 6th or 7th or 8th as well. But then getting back into the Champions League or Europa League, I expect Man United to win a trophy that's between FA Cup and Carabao Cup, and then also strongly compete, based off what I saw during preseason and what Amorim and Ineos as well are doing within, the club as a whole. We've seen conversations around, Ronaldo complaining about, the facilities in the club, and that has been fixed with the new training center at Carrington. There's been new signings with new supporters for the business as a whole. Amorim has made structural changes, strategic changes, and one of the latest ones now is the players don't need to come to Old Trafford 4 hours before the game. They're all going to eat together at Carrington on game day and then come together maybe an hour before the game. So structural changes are going in place to correct the environment as a whole. And the only thing left to be seen now is what happens on the pitch. And from preseason, we were able to see that these players are able to now fight together and, chase the ball together. And preseason for me was, very interesting to see that these same players who struggled, in the season, last season, were able to play this way in preseason, even though there were some, structural lapses here and there. But you can't fix everything in 4 weeks, says the manager, basically. But yeah, if you ask me about my expectations, one trophy and getting back into Europe.
All right, I was going to ask you about your expectation. Of course, you've said it, one trophy and getting back to Europe. And lastly, I'll ask you in 10 seconds, where do you think Man United will finish up in the English Premier League?
I'm looking at between 5th and 8th. But if you ask me, specifically, I'll probably say maybe sixth.
All right, I'm sure Man United fans will not be happy about that one, but we'll see how it turns out. The season is just kicking off. I'll go to the Man City fan now, Akintayo Akinwoleola, because I know we're pressed for time. Akintayo, where do you think Manchester City will finish this season? Because you've said they are not likely to win, so we'll take out number one from it.
We won't win. I did say that should we have the additional additions, Donnarumma and Rodrigo, there's a likely chance that we do get to win the Premier League. But I think with what I'm saying with the additions as well, Lingard and Kolo Touré in the pushing team for Pep, it's actually bringing a new dimension towards Pep. I'm actually looking forward to this. This side of Pep we have actually not seen before. You know, he's bringing his tiki-taka with that of Pep Lingard's Gege pressing. So I'm actually excited to see what will happen. It's like it's a whole new Pep that we'll see going forward.
Okay.
And I think if the team just pretty fast the way it should, we are looking at a situation where Man City will probably go on another run, 4 in a row, 5 in a row, something like that. As long as Pep doesn't leave.
All right, and of course, lastly, for the Chelsea fan, Onyekachi, where do you think your club will finish this season in the English Premier League?
I think Chelsea will finish no more than third. I think at the end of the season we might eventually finish fourth, and that's because, like I said, there are so many more players coming in. Obviously, they'll need time to gel and all that. So I think we're going to have a very good season. But at the end of the day, I don't see us finishing any higher than third.
All right. We'll see how that turns out for the clubs, the top clubs in England. And I'll say thank you very much, guys, for joining us today, looking ahead of the new season. And I wish your clubs all the best. And for the coconut-headed fans, we wish them all the best as well, hoping to see where they'll get to finish up this season. Thank you, guys, for joining up with the show today.